One thing I wanted to talk about, because obviously one of your subject areas is productivity and how to improve productivity and things like that. So something I've struggled with a little bit myself, and I'm sure a lot of people listening have also, is productivity during lockdown. You're stuck in a cycle, things like that. Is there any advice you would give to people who are stuck in lockdown still and are struggling with productivity?
Yeah, so I think initially it's helpful to remind everyone, just as you mentioned, that a lot of people are in this boat for the first time, and therefore to expect yourself to have exceptional performance over a long period of time for something that you've never encountered before is quite unrealistic. So if you've had ups and downs over the course of lockdown, I think everyone has had that.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
thing that I help focus the mind is having a clear goal that you're working to. It doesn't need to be something grand, it doesn't need to be the most amazing thing you've ever done in the world. But when you have a clear goal that you're working towards, then you can actually keep moving towards it. And I
Mm.
think over lockdown, because quite a few people haven't had goals other than to get out of lockdown, which is something we've all had. But if you don't have something that you're working towards, it's really easy to get stuck in a rut because there isn't any tangible way out. Whereas when you say, okay, I'm working towards this in 1, 2, 3 months, then it gives you a track to run on. And a lot of the
Mm.
time, the hardest bit is actually getting going. Once you're moving, you've got momentum, but it's that overcoming inertia that's the start. So think of a goal you'd love to work on. Start with something that you know you can achieve, so it's not too overwhelming, and just create a step-by-step plan to get there. That's the biggest recommendation I could give.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's a good recommendation. And another kind of similar question is, it's a bit of a generalized question, really, but overall, what do you think are some small little things that pretty much everyone can do or implement within their days to improve confidence, productivity, coping with anxiety, eating disorder, depression, literally anything? What's just a little tip that you think people could implement, which could help?
There is one exercise that I would recommend that will help all of those. Obviously, it's not designed to clear it and resolve it, but in terms of a tip, when we are going through our life, when things happen that we judge to be good or helpful or positive, we tend to get happier. So we tend to go up. When there are things that we judge to be negative or hindering or holding us back, we tend to feel lower. So that process means that we have regular ups and downs. In order to change that, we need to change the way that we see things. So an exercise that I'd recommend everyone to do just for a couple of minutes each day, and it's a bit of a muscle training exercise, so it'll take a little bit of work, is for each day, think about either one action or one person who has supported you, and then think about what you appreciate, what you can acknowledge, and what you're grateful for. And that's something that fair few people do in terms of the gratitude practices.
Mm.
But the actual key to it is also looking at the other side. So think about one person or one action that's challenged you or held you back or caused a problem, and then ask, how is going through that challenge going to actually help you grow? What happens then is you create a dynamic where if things go your way, you appreciate them. If things
Mm.
don't go your way, you appreciate them. So either way, you keep moving forwards and you can be grateful.